Welcome to Tottenham Hotspur. This is Common Use Spurs TV. Honestly, today has been, well, it's one of those days, isn't it? I mean, when things don't particularly go your way, your team doesn't do that great, you don't even want to do this, but hey, it's got to be done. Um, it's got to be done. So, well, come on, you Spurs. Join me on the other side where we bring you the full details of the match between Manchester United and Tottenham. We'll see you on the other side. Things just didn't go our way. Um, Apart from that, I'm not sure we even did enough to, um, to even sort of be in the match. Falabi, I can barely see you. I don't know what's going on. Right.
Sorry.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for having me.
Right.
How are you doing?
I'm joined by Falabi today. Just to review this match. I mean, gosh, Man U 2, Spurs 0. Okay, on many levels, a lot of fans were expecting a better performance, given that we hadn't lost one game in 16, and I mean, okay, we haven't been playing that great this season. It was one of those things when it's either you got found out, but I actually thought that over the last few games before today, we actually improved our game. I mean, things had been on the up. We began to step up, and some people said that, look, I mean, played 3-5-2, be able to sort of contain them in contain whoever we played in midfield, and would have a relatively good game. Now, gosh, Falabi, what I mean, what's your summation?
My summation. Well, to be truthful, when I saw the starting lineup, I was quite excited. I was quite happy, and I thought we could go toe to toe with them in midfield. A lot of people may disagree with me and say no, but I thought playing three in midfield and then they came, we'll drop to a back five defensively. And I think the beginning of the game, we were more than holding our own. We were actually more in their half. But the longer the game went on in the first half, they grew into it. Their coach Ten Hag did a brilliant job in getting the crowd, to be their 13th, 14th man, and the pace of the game, you know. The crowd pushed them to continue to have the pace, to have the push, and to have the push. I mean, there was a 10 towards the end of the first half before Dyer got hit with the ball in the face. There was a space that within 5-7 minutes, Lloris did, I think, with 3 or 4 or 5 world-class saves, and he kept us in that game for the first half. We were in that game for the first half, and he kept us in it. Without a doubt, even in the first half, they were the better team. And I thought we were a bit lucky that there was only 2 minutes added on at the end of the first half, especially with the amount of time that it took Dyer to get back up with having the ball struck him in the face and everything. And also there in the Kane now we did a counter attack, and one of their players went down, the ball hit him in the throat and everything. So I thought we were a bit lucky to just get 2 minutes, and we were being pulled out of shape towards the end of the first half. Middle period of the first half and everything, we were defending quite well, but then they started pulling us out of shape. Casemiro, Fred, I hate to say it, and Bruno Fernandes, who for once was actually playing in the game rather than chasing the referee up and down, appealing for free kicks here and there. He was actually playing the game,
That's so
instead of
funny.
instead of bossing the. In fact, he still did boss the referee around when the player was hit in the throat, and the referee did not stop the game immediately. If you go back and watch it, you will still him saying he should stop that and everything. Bruno Fernandes, he's known to always be chasing the referee up and down everywhere, you know. And he, telling the referee he should blow the whistle here, he should give a free kick there, he should give a yellow card there. Today he was actually playing the game. So, you
Yeah,
know,
I mean, honestly, Falabi, sorry to interrupt you. I mean, I know it's one of these days when we can sort of take an overview of the match and say that, look, okay, fine, we didn't turn up on the day. The first 20 minutes, we're a little bit dominant. And then until, like you said, Man U got into the game, and then they began to sort of have shots on targets. And within a space of 20, 28 minutes, they had more shots on goal than it had the entire season up to now. Now, but one thing, some of the commentators actually mentioned. Let me just interrupt and say, look, okay, if you're joining us for the first time, this is Come On You Spurs TV. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to follow us, and share this, of course. I mean, and of course, leave your comments about the match. We're reviewing the match between Tottenham and Manchester United. Took place at Old Trafford. Kickoff 8:15. One of those Wednesday night kickoffs, And if you're here for the first time, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. Now, over time, I mean, first, a lot of commentators said this. I mean, we're very good at containing pressure. Okay, they'll have shots on target, but not really things that we can't really deal with. And Evra said something in the stream I was watching, and he said, "Look, if you look at sometimes having possession is not really a good thing if you don't control the game." And he felt, in his view, that we were in control, even though we were under pressure, as in Man U were having chances. But he felt that all it took was us breaking that pressure and counter-attacking, and we would score, And he felt that we had the better chances of scoring. Oh, of course, I mean, I was inclined to agree with him, because I felt that even though we seemed to be on the back foot for the most part of the first half, or for the second half of the first half, we didn't actually look like we were about to concede. I mean, even though they had shot on target and all of that,
I agree.
So that's the measure. But for some reason, we just did not seem to be able to get out of our half. Now, whatever Ten Hag did in terms of a tactical approach, they played a 4-2-3-1, right? Essentially, it's a little bit of having, but what they did was they kept on pressing, and you felt that, look, they wouldn't be able to continue this for the whole of the match. But somehow or another, we just could not get hold of the ball to cause them. We kept on having bad passes, and not just, it was horrible to watch. I mean, from the Spurs perspective, good match in terms of tempo, in terms of, for the neutral. But for me, I just felt that we didn't really do that well in the final analysis. Please keep your comments coming. We'll feature your comments. I'd love to hear from you if you're a Spurs fan, if you're a Man U fan watching us. I'd also love to hear from you from the Man United perspective. All right. Now, let's have a look at the lineup. If you weren't here yesterday, I was here with Chuma, and I have got to give ourselves kudos again. We got the team right, spot on. This is what we predicted. Let's have a look and see what that looks like. I'm just going to share this as the predicted lineup, and you can see what we came up with. And that was yesterday's predicted lineup, right? Now compare that today with the actual lineup. All right, so this is the actual lineup.
And I like that lineup. Can you hear me? Can't hear you. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I think we may be having some problem with that scene. Let's just
Can you hear me?
change things. I can hear you loud and clear. 1 second. I'll just see if we can change things around for a minute. 1 second. Right. What's going on here? Hi, follow. You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Right. So I don't know what happened with the sound there, but if you can hear us from home, plus leave a comment in the comment section. We're having some technical issues here, but yes, we were talking about the predicted lineup and the fact that we kind of got it right on the day, right? So with this, we had obviously Lloris in goal, Romero, Dyer, and Davis, Doherty, Bentancur, Højbjerg, and Bissouma, as well as Perisic on the left-hand side of the back of the mid five, right? And then we had Kane and Son. I guess in a way, this lineup was more or less forced on us because we. I'm not going to put this now.
Injury.
We didn't have that many options in terms of personnel, and because of that, we were forced into playing this. And this was the actual lineup. We predicted that yesterday. You know, I'm becoming Conte in disguise now. You know, with my prediction. So yeah, happy with that. We got that right. Now, but more importantly, what was the effect of those changes on the match? The main big change was, of course, Richarlison was injured, and we had the option of playing Bissouma in midfield, or maybe bringing in Gio or Moura, right, up front. You know, some people will say that, okay, maybe you should have done that, but hey, hindsight is always a wonderful thing. Yes, hindsight is always a wonderful thing, and from our own perspective, I mean, I don't think we had that option at all. I mean, yeah, I mean, we just didn't play well on the day. I mean, that's just the bottom line. And Man, you got their tactics spot on because they were all over us. They had 28 shots on goal today. compared to our own 8. I mean, they were totally dominant. Now, okay, the domination first half, no goals. Second half they opened up and they score a goal. Now, from a Spurs perspective, it's probably one of those unfortunate goals where it comes off a deflection. But overall, if you look at how they pressed us, how they've had shot on goal, how they've kind of attacked, I guess it was just reward for their efforts because they just had persistent efforts on goal, and we just seem to not have any answers to their constant attacks. I mean, if you're joining us here, please leave your comments. We'd love to hear from you. And yeah, I mean, so we just didn't do well. I mean, coping with the attacks they had against us. I mean, what do you think, Folabi?
Well, first half, towards the end of the first half, we couldn't string 3 passes together. Hudbert kept on giving the ball away. Apart from that, we weren't winning. They won 90% of 50-50s.
Yeah, that was
even
not
the ones
good at all.
Even the ones we won, we didn't win them cleanly, and the ball would just ricochet to one of their players. And leading to their goal, I said it the moment. I blame Dyer for their goal. Actually, I blame Dyer for their goal because leading to their goal, Dyer tried to chest it to Perisic, who was 5-10 yards away from him, and instead of trapping it and just doing a normal foot pass, he tried to chest it, and by chesting it, he misjudged the chest. Bruno Fernandes jumped onto the ball and everything. Boom, boom, boom. Deflection from Davis into the net. Deflection was unfortunate, but losing the ball in our third was dangerous. And a lot of times we were very careless. Even when we had the ball, we were very careless. We weren't being decisive in our decision making, in our passing. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh well. Okay, I'm gonna.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes. Okay. So that was it, and from there onwards, we just had a mountain to climb, a massive mountain to climb. They were on us, they were pressurizing, they were dictating midfield. We weren't getting balls across to our front two, who also looked very lethargic, and Son was trying, Kane was trying. Kane, he came back, he was playing deep and everything. But it was just a bad day in the office. And unfortunately, and Conte, I don't know why, did not want to, even after they scored, which is very unlike Conte. He normally makes substitutions between the 65th, 63rd, 64th, 65th minute to the 68th, 70th minute. That's when he starts making his substitutions and everything. And it just seemed adamant that he wasn't going to make changes in today's game. And I don't know why. There's no point keeping players fresh for a weekend's game if you're not winning this game and you're not in the battle for this game. You've got to be in the battle game by game.
Well,
one game at a time.
I haven't listened
and that's
to
what he always himself preaches.
Yeah, I haven't listened to the post-match press conference just yet to see what he had to say on why he didn't make the changes early enough or earlier than he made them. But I think presumably, I think he probably just looked at the match and thought, okay, I mean, I'm not sure we can't win this match. And which for me, I never felt we were going to lose the match. I mean, maybe I'm the eternal optimist because, but overall, I mean, you just have to grant it to Man U. They were all over us. They had more the play. They had more chances. We just didn't threaten at all, especially in the second half. We couldn't string two passes together, and it was just such a poor performance. Extremely frustrating on many levels. I mean, because if it's down to the system, I mean, everyone says, okay, fine, back the midfield, but for some reason, like I said earlier on, we just could not find a way around their press. Anytime we broke possession, they got the ball back almost as soon as we got it back, either from our poor decision making or just the inability to sort of string two or three passes together with that much consistency. From a Spurs perspective, that was extremely frustrating. I mean, not a pretty sight to watch, and yeah, it's pretty dire, pretty dire. So I mean, they scored the first goal, and okay, we off a deflection from a ball that came up to Fred. Fred doesn't score that many goals. Got deflected off Davis and totally wrong-footed Lloris. Now, Lloris before then had made a lot of crucial saves, that sort of kept us in the game. A lot of really, really beautiful saves. So for me, these are the times when, I mean, I know people have criticized Lloris in the past for not being there or for making errors or, for making, but today he was immense, He basically kept us in the game because he made a string of important saves, even when we're 2-0 down. I mean, he still made pretty much, I mean, for me, from our perspective, Lloris was the man of the match because he gave very, very little away. So from our perspective, they were fortunate to score that goal because it went off a deflection. It wasn't exactly going to be a shot on target as such. Now, again, if you look at the goal Fernandes scored, I mean, it got almost like given to him on a platter because, I mean, the ball came deflected off and it fell to him and he had a pop, It wasn't like he received the pass, from good play in the first place. So I guess from Spurs' perspective, it was bad. Those goals we considered. So, but these are the kind of things that break down teams who are really, really good at containing pressure. And take it or leave it, Tottenham are really good at containing pressure. I mean, but for some reason today, we just were unfortunate to concede those two goals at the time we considered them. Having said that, they had a lot of opportunities to score, which Lloris kept us in match. But again, one would take the view that that's his job, meant to keep ball out of the nets, and he did a great job doing that. So that was fantastic from our own perspective. Now, for me, we didn't create that many chances. Why do you think that is? I mean, Folabi?
Exactly what you said. Their pressure, a poor decision making when we had the ball, and we couldn't string 5 passes together. And as even if we wanted to play we were playing our counter attack, yeah, we soak up pressure. We're learning to soak up pressure and keep shape. But today we didn't keep our shape. We didn't keep our formation, and we were overrun in midfield. And we were very we weren't quick. We weren't quick enough in our counter attack. We weren't quick enough in our counter attack, and we were rather slow and sluggish.
Right. So I mean, got people joining us. I mean, Folabi. So I mean, there's a comment there from Trueborn African. Thank you for joining us. Now, thank you for your comments. What does he say? He say, look, Conte hasn't made up his mind about what side he wants to play, and I think his Premiership has left him behind. Without Lloris today, he could have been 5. What do you have to say to that?
Could have been 6.
Absolutely, yes. It could have been a lot more. I mean, without Lloris spinning goal. But again, like I said, that's what he's paid to do. That's his job, and he did a great job of it.
Exactly.
Now you can't have it either way. You can either have it only one way. Either he does a good job, or he plays poorly. And he played a really, really good game today. And kudos to him, Lloris. Yeah, but yeah. from our perspective, it wasn't a pretty side at all. If there's one day I didn't want to come and do this, it was probably today. Because
Yeah.
it's just you gotta come and talk about it, and yeah, it's one of these things that goes with this job, if you like. And yeah, I enjoy every moment. Thank you for joining us wherever you're joining us from. Leave your comment in the comment section below, and like this page to keep on receiving broadcasts from us, and you get notified when we go live if you click on the bell button at the bottom right hand corner of your screen. Right, so this is Come On You Sports TV. Thank you for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Well, I really don't know what to talk about anymore. Honestly, I'm just so frustrated. Now, contest changes. Now, he didn't make the changes until what, the 80th minute, like when the game was gone. Why would you do that? I mean, why would you give up?
Conte, if you look at the game, if you watch the game, after they scored their first goal, I was surprised. I saw Conte, his head was bowed down, his head was down. The Conte I know, after they scored their first goal, he's animated, he's energetic, he's energized, he's directing players, he's directing play, and then he's either that or he's making a quick substitution, and he's been active. The
Andrew
Conte,
said something that what he didn't like was the fact that the number of shots, 28 against 1 up to the 70th
yeah,
minute. Can you believe that? 28 shots on goal compared to our
yes,
one.
yes,
I mean, that was
that's the most
absolutely
that's
dreadful. That's dreadful.
dreadful, dreadful, dreadful,
Yeah, I mean,
dreadful.
so it's just not a good day at the office. So a little bit frustrating for Spurs fans. And yeah, I mean, keep your comments coming in. Thank you for those comments, Trueborn African and Andrew. Thank you for joining us, Andrew. Yeah, I mean, we will appreciate your contribution. Keep them coming. You're watching us for the first time. This is Come On You Spurs TV. Like, subscribe, and comment, and share this with whoever you think might be interested in this. Right. Man United 2, Spurs 0. Now, we've had how much you put it, last few years, a reasonable record at Old Trafford. I mean, the last 4 appearances, it's been even Stevens. I mean, they won 2, we won 2. Even though our last 3 encounters where we faced each other in the Premier League have been won straight up by Man United, but at Old Trafford we haven't done that well in recent years. So it's been
That
really pretty much even Stevens, and I thought that given the fact that in the last few games we've been seeing signs of improvement in our game. We saw against Leicester, sorry, against Brighton, is a good performance. We played Everton, again, solid performance, and it had signs that things were on the up. But suddenly we come up against Man United, and it looks like they play really, really well when they're playing against us. Today was one of those days when they look like world beaters, and they haven't looked like that. So is it a question of a reenactment of Man United of old under Ten Hag, or just a one-off performance?
well, in my opinion, is I don't know why, but even teams in the EPL that are out of form, when it comes to Spurs, they often play their best game of the season against Spurs. You know, look at Chelsea. Since when we played Chelsea, they've not played that well. They've not been playing that well since we played them. Teams just seem to come with a formula, play their best game when they know that they're going to play Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur. I don't know what it is, and It's not just with Don Conte, but you know, Kojo Kofi Annan said it on the platform. He said, "Look, listen, we just can't continue just to be sitting back and waiting to play counter attack." And I fully agree with him. We have players to attack. Everybody is saying, yes, we need a creative midfielder. We need a creative midfielder. Okay, we don't have a creative midfielder. Harry Kane, HK drops back. Look at the ball in the first half. In the first half, look at the ball in when he dropped back. That he he cross pass to Doherty, and Doherty right slipped in into the penalty area, had a clear shot on goal, but unfortunately did not get any bend on the ball to go into David Dahez. He would be David Dahez right hand corner, and it would have been Doherty's left hand corner, left hand. He just didn't. He just could not whip in enough bend on the ball. I mean, but what do you want? You've got Harry Kane who does these incredible passes in his vision. And I've always said it. I've said it from five seasons ago. You know, as a striker, Harry Kane knows where he wants the ball to go to. So he has that vision. You know, he goes back. If he's dropping back, who are you going to play directly up front to be receiving those balls? You know, and unfortunately, Son cannot play as a central forward. Yeah, so it's a dilemma. It's a dilemma that we have, but it's a dilemma that I feel we have players that, and I feel that we have this. This was a poor day, a very bad day in the about it, and it's not losing is bad, but it's not disastrous. That we write it off from it, and you make yourself better from it through the experience of going through it.
This is it. So I think we have a chance to deal with it at the weekend when we play. Who we play at the weekend? We play Newcastle. That's another top
Newcastle.
we're facing there.
That's another, and they're on form, and they are on form,
Yeah, they
and
seem
they're
to
on
be
fire.
in relatively good form at the moment. So yeah,
I believe they won today.
yeah, so I mean we have a lot of work on our hands. So yes, well, we have a good chance to get back to winning ways, and I hope we do that on when we face Newcastle on Saturday. Is it Saturday or Sunday? Actually, I'm not even sure.
I think it's Sunday.
It's Sunday, yeah, Sunday at the Lane, and well, at the Lane. Gosh, you can't use
Tottenham, at the Tottenham Stadium.
at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, you know. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, keep your comments coming in. This is Common Spurs TV. We'd love to hear from you. Mind you too. Tottenham too. So sorry, Tottenham nil. Now, I mean, some people feel that Conte should not have given up. You know, with 10 minutes to go, we should still have gone and tried to attack them. And you know, basically, look, I think from his perspective, I think he's probably thinking, okay, fine, we're at the point in this match where we are unlikely to win this game. Why put the players under the pressure to try and win when we've got plenty of other matches ahead of us? You know, you don't want to create a disaster situation. But I mean, from the fans' perspective, that's simply unacceptable. You know, and he came out earlier on in the week and was saying that he wouldn't like to see players pulling out of tackles because they were fearing.
Well, they were.
You know,
Even Kane pulled out of a few tackles.
you know,
There
injury
was one
going into the World Cup. But having said that, though, I haven't said that. I actually thought that they actually put in some fierce tackles at critical points in the match. Busuma went in very hard on some instances. I saw Bentancur doing the same thing. You know, so I didn't see them pulling out of tackles in most cases. I mean, okay, maybe you said Kane pulled out of one, but I mean, I think I thought they gave a good account of themselves in terms of trying to win the duels, but for whatever reason today we just didn't click. It just didn't click. Bad day at the office. Ended up losing. I really don't know what next. What next? Olabi?
What next? Well, it's a simple thing. Write it off. Forget about it. Go back. go back. We have to go back to the drawing board.
Hmm?
We look at the game. We look at the video of this game. Conte is specializing on analyzing phases of games, and they will do that. They will do that tomorrow because I don't believe after this game they'll have a day off. And
The games are
like
thick and fast. They're coming thick and fast, you know?
they're thick and fast. And the other thing is players are now beginning to be thinking of World Cup.
Hmm.
That's what they're now beginning because you've got a few players. Who was it from Liverpool? Klopp announced that he's missing the World Cup. One or two other players have already been announced that they're missing the World Cup. Rhys James of Chelsea is in doubt of the World Cup. Kyle Walker of Newcastle is in doubt of the World Cup. So players are hearing this and everything. They themselves are thinking, World Cup. And you know something? Thinking about that, I'm beginning to wonder about Sonny. Maybe Sonny is just thinking about World Cup right now in his head.
Hmm. Yeah, because
Maybe
he
Sonny
just didn't see. He seems to be totally off his game today. He just wasn't speaking.
completely no. He's been off his game basically most of the season so far. So I mean, and don't forget we're already what 1 week, 10 days away from the end of this month,
Hmm?
and then it's 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks before the World Cup. 2.5 weeks before the World Cup starts. So, not in the back of their heads, these players in the front of their heads is World Cup.
Sure.
And they have one or two players already not being able to. They're going to miss the World Cup. This player is going to miss the World Cup. This is the showpiece for their careers. They don't want to miss it.
I mean,
Harry Kane.
Fernandez has been missing in action for most of the season. And like you said, all he does
Yes,
is chase after referees and, hope to get
that's
this
all
job.
the guy does.
That's,
I
you know,
I love watching him. I love watching him because he's the first player to always get to the ref. Once the referee blows his whistle, he's the first player to go and point to the referee that he did not blow at a particular point, and he'll point to exactly where the referee should have pointed. And you don't understand how the guy. There was a commentary over the weekend. One of the commentators said that it's as if Bruno Fernandes just shadow
the
chases
referee.
the referee.
Yeah.
He just shadow chases him. You know,
And today
so
against us, against the man of the match. I mean, I think we've done it,
you imagine.
Dr. Seuss here today, and unfortunately, I mean, it just hasn't worked out for us. Congratulations to Man United, even though I'm saying it through gritted teeth, But hey, well done to them. Well, fair play to them. They played better than us, and
You have to be a sportsman. You have to be a sportsman. So
yeah, deservedly win 2-0. So yes, move on, and then hopefully we'll get back
they
to
beat
winning
us
ways.
off the park. They beat us off the park today.
Get back to winning ways on Saturday. Yeah. So if you're joining us for the first time, this is Come On You Spurs TV. Thank you so much for joining us today. We've had a good time, even though we didn't have a great time on the pitch reviewing the match. But yeah, Falabi, as always, thank you so much. I appreciate your love, your support, and everything. God bless you. Come on,
keep up the good job. It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for always having me, inviting me. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. It's great to have you all the time. Thank you. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You.
Win, lose or draw, I'm Spurs for life. So
come on, you Spurs.
come on, you Spurs.